Hey gang, it's Ruben. Welcome back to my channel. So I was reading the book of Matthew, and there was this really cool passage that had me think about it in this really cool, deep context that I wanted to do a vlog and share with you guys. And so this is in Matthew 26, verse 50. Starts in verse 50. And I'll just go ahead and start reading it. Jesus replied, "Do what you came for, friend." Then the man stepped forward, seized Jesus, and arrested him. With that, one of Jesus' companions reached for his sword, drew it out, and struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear. "Put your sword back in its place," Jesus said to him, "for all who live by the sword will die by the sword. Do you think I cannot call on my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled that say it must happen in this way?" And so the really cool part is not the live by the sword, die by the sword part. That's a very famous verse. A lot of people talk about it. Now I'm at the part after that I thought was really cool, and I wanted to peel back the layers of this onion for a second. First of all, I think what's really neat here is Jesus is flexing for a minute, right? Because one of his companions was so upset, he literally tried to attack one of the soldiers that's trying to arrest Jesus. And this is Jesus' moment to say, "Yo, bro, I really don't need you to defend me. At any moment, I've got 12 legions of angels at my disposal." He's letting us know he is not the conquered. At any moment, he could actually be the conqueror. I mean, can you imagine 12 legions of angels? They could wipe out the whole Roman army without any difficulty. And so this is what I mean by Jesus flexing, right? But it's also adding the deeper meaning that he's not being conquered. He is in surrender. He is in full surrender to fulfill scripture, to his fate, to become the blood of the Lamb, and to be in full surrender to the will of the Father. I mean, this is just a beautiful moment. But I started thinking about it from the perspective of the angels. I mean, in human terms, when we start to think about people of service, like if we just start from the military, right? You know, the brothers in arms statement. When you're serving, especially if you're on the front lines, you're willing to give your life up to your fellow brother in arms and vice versa. So there's a greater calling, greater than yourself. But then if we think about it in terms of like the Secret Service, who they are sworn to defend and protect the President of the United States. They will literally take a bullet for the president. And in some other countries, the equivalency would be a royal guard who are willing to die to defend their king or queen. And so if one of Jesus' companions was angry enough upon Jesus' arrest to go grab a sword to try to protect his Lord and King, like how much more would the angels in that moment? You know what I'm saying? And they had to stand there and watch. They had to stand there probably to the point of shaking because they could do nothing because Jesus was in surrender. And so they had to stand there and watch while Jesus was arrested. They had to stand there and watch while he was being tortured with the thorny crown. They had to stand there and watch while he was being flogged to the point where his back probably looked like bloody meatloaf. And they had to stand there and watch as he was nailed to the cross. And as much as we like to look to those who have that call of service, you know, the Secret Service, what a great calling that is. I mean, how much more for these angels? The amount of heartbreak they must have experienced as they had to bear witness to that entire series of events, and they could do nothing because they had to accept Jesus' choice to surrender. I mean, it's a beautiful moment, but it's also very heartbreaking. My goodness, how the angels must have wept. Well, that's all for this episode. God bless you.